Hi, I'm Riley from AWOL Autos.
And Sam from Autoblog.
And we're here at LaFontaine Toyota in Dearborn, Michigan. Behind us is a row of Toyota Corollas, and these are actually cars that are under recall right now, and we're going to walk through the installation process for this fix. Essentially, it's a small shim that the dealership is going to put in underneath the pedal, and it's going to fix the problem. So we're going to meet with Doug, one of the master technicians, and he's going to show us how they do it.
So if it has this number on here, these ones are okay. If it's this date or newer, it's okay. If it's before this date, then we have to do the modification to it. All of these pedals with this part number, no matter when they were built, are going to have to be modified. So first thing I do is I grab my flashlight and I decide if I even have to take any action on the pedal. Yeah, and this one was built in 2008, so I know it needs to be repaired. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take a measurement of this gap right here. This is called the friction plate, and then this is called the stopper right here. So we're just going to take a series of feeler gauges, find out which one is going to fit the best. And that looks good. So we'll determine how thick our feeler gauge is. This feeler gauge is 1.42 millimeters. So now I go to my chart that I have right here. Based on my clearance measurement I make, it'll tell me which shim I need. I had 1.42 millimeters, so it looks like I'm going to need the 2.3 millimeter shim. So I'm going to select my 2.3 millimeter shim. Now we're going to actually open the gas pedal up. Drop it all the way in. And we're going to come from the back side and engage it. And it's in.
Make sure it's sort of in the middle there, or what?
Okay, you can see where we see it right there. And what we've done is we've taken up the gap in there to increase spring pressure on it, so this mechanism can't move.
So is it actually between the spring and the housing? Or?
No, it's actually, it kind of clips into this friction lever right here.
Okay.
And what it does is it just reduces this space right here.
Okay.
Now the engineers have not told me why I'm putting this in, so I can't speculate as to what it's fixing. And now I just need to pump the pedal 5 times, make sure I haven't done any damage to it. Put the cover on it.
Do you notice when you're that it feels different from when that thing's not in there, or is it exactly the same?
Exactly the same. There's no change. Make sure this is firmly seated in place. And we're ready to go back in the car. Now we have to verify that we haven't done any damage to the pedal. What I'm going to do now is what we call perform a health check. It's going to check for any faults in any of the computers on the car. This can take a minute or two because it actually has to check the internet for any other open recalls and check. You saw all the onboard computers it has on the car, so it can take a little while.
So it's not that bad though. Looks like you'll probably get it down to like 20 minutes maybe.
Yes.
When you're at, do you find that of the Corollas you've done, they've all been the same size?
No, there's been a variance. I've seen I've seen 2 of the same size and 2 different ones so far.
Okay.
Out of the 4 I've done.
Same year?
Yeah, all same years. They were all 10s.
What's the range of thicknesses of the shims?
They start out at a thickness of 1.4, then we have increments of 0.2, and then it jumps to an increment of 0.3 of a millimeter. So we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different size shims, I believe. Okay, our health check's complete. And if I had any issues in any of the computers, I would have a number of which codes are stored in the car. But I'm still not done because now I need to actually go look at the live data of the engine computer and make sure I haven't damaged the range that the sensor reads. Okay, these are the 2 numbers I'm looking for, the ones I've just highlighted. Okay, accelerator number 1 is at 0.8 of a volt with the pedal free. It should be between 0.5 volt and 1.1 volts, so that looks good. Number 2 should be between 1.2 and 2 volts. It's at 1.6, so that looks good. Now you fully depress the brake pedal, or gas pedal, I'm sorry, and check our voltages. 3.8, yes, it's between 2.6 and 4.5, and then 4.5, that's between 3.4 and 5.0. Feels good. Car's ready to go. I'll also be printing off a copy of that health check, attaching one to the repair order for our records, and then giving one to the customer for their own records.